Thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing your story. Being able to experience it through your eyes was mind-blowing, extremely heartbreaking. So, thank you. What's happened in your lives since, participating in this documentary series?
Well, so for my brother and I, at this moment in time, we don't really feel safe in this country. We don't feel welcome, and it does seem like time is running out for us.
Our appointment with ICE, it was postponed indefinitely, so we were just kind of in this limbo. We didn't know what was going on.
My father was detained, and a week later, he was deported to Colombia.
I didn't even get to say bye to him. He just left for work like normally, and I got a call saying they got him. At that point, I think everything changed, because I never imagined in a million years that they would actually detain him, that this was something that they're only going to do to people who committed crimes, to murders, to whatever. We're not safe in our house anymore. I haven't been in my house in a month. I haven't slept in my bed. It doesn't make any sense. My dad went through hell for 8 days in these detainment centers. I think everybody at this point sort of has an idea of what's going on. They have people locked up in these cages, essentially. They sleep on the floors with these aluminum blankets. In these rooms, they have the lights on 24 hours a day. Being able to speak with him after the 8 days that he was there, I had never heard the pain that he had in his voice ever in my life. I think he will be damaged by that experience, just being there for 8 days, for the rest of his life. It was an absolute hell. And they're telling us that they're going after us, and that we could possibly be in this same situation. This country it's not livable for us anymore.
Hearing all these things really ruins your determination to stay. It really just makes you think, like, that could be me, that could be my parents, that could be my siblings. And you don't want that. What's the point in pushing so hard if all you're gonna get is that?
What do you guys think that you would be doing if you didn't have to worry about this?
I think about this every day. If this wasn't happening, I'd be going through school, just working hard to achieve what I want to achieve, which is being a civil engineer. I'd be living a normal life. I'd be living the life that my next door neighbor does. It's nothing crazy, but it's what I dream of.
Right.
We've never been able to travel anywhere outside of the country because ICE has our passports, and the only way we can get out of this country is through them deporting us.
In Israel, I have so many cousins and so many aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews, and I feel like it's come to the point where, like, I don't know if I will ever meet them. And I know a lot of my friends are best friends with their cousins, or they get to go to Israel for vacation. Like, I'm missing out on so much.
Personally, hearing all of these things that you guys are not able to enjoy about a country that I live in is very difficult. What do you guys think that you're missing out on?
The ability to simply go to school is the most important thing to me. Has been a struggle. We don't sleep at night. Just a million scenarios run through my head every day.
I got robbed last week. I was scared to call the police because I didn't know, could they track my family? Would they get in touch with my parents? Would they come to my house? Would they want to see, like, who's there? I basically don't exist.
What is your biggest fear?
To have this adrenaline every single day, to be scared every single day for the rest of my life, that nothing will ever change.
My biggest fear is being detained and going through what my dad went through. I literally had a nightmare last night about being dropped off in a country that I've never been to, really, since I was 3, that I wouldn't even know where I was standing.
With all of this fear that you guys have to live with every day, do you find that it's really hard to trust people?
I've kept it a secret. I like to represent myself as Colombian because that's what I am. But people never really assume that I don't have a status in this country. When we received news that our private bill was taken away and we were left without status, my biggest fear at the time was I was going to leave without anyone knowing what happened to me. So I made a crazy decision to just tell my friend Brian. He was someone that was very open to it and made me feel very comfortable talking to someone. And if it wasn't for that conversation, I don't think I would have ever spoken to someone about it. So, yeah, it makes me cry just because of how special that moment was. And we got really close because of it, but it was definitely hard at the time. I want people to know about my situation. I need people to know about my situation. And yeah, so yeah. You're good. Thank you.
You really got me going here. When it came to high school, it would bring up a lot of questions. Everyone would always ask, why don't you have your license? Why don't you have a car? Why do you keep moving houses? If a question came up between a close friend and I wouldn't hide it from them because I feel like, yes, it is hard to find people you trust, but it depends on like how long you've known them or what their situation is, what their beliefs are.
Do you feel American? You know, like how would you describe that feeling?
I feel like you couldn't get any more American than us four in this table right now.
I feel like I am an American. I've lived here my whole life. I was 6 months old when I moved. I don't know anything but here. I don't want anyone to have to fear the place that they grew up in. I don't want anyone to experience that, and I just want America as a whole to know and understand what's really happening when these people are getting deported. They don't just get a plane ticket and say like, bye, like, go back to your old life. We don't have an old life anymore. This is what we have.
Yeah, I don't know what else I would be considered. I have Colombian family who would, tease me. They see me as American. I speak English. My Spanish isn't, the strongest. I've lived here since I was 3. It's my whole life.
What you see on the news is not really what's happening. They're trying to label me as a criminal. They're trying to just label people as much as possible. We're not a threat to society. We're simply just being looked at differently and portrayed as an enemy.
There's millions of us here, and you don't hear about, I would say 99% of them, simply because these are people who just come here looking for a better life, and they're working and they're minding their own business.
I feel like we've been given this stereotype that immigrants have come here to sell drugs, to rob, to hurt, to steal, to do all these terrible things, when in reality, we've come here to live a safer life. And instead of looking at us as people who want to take from you, look at us as people who want to be with you. We want to be able to work together.
I really hope that the fight doesn't end with us leaving. I hope that the fight continues to the point where this country welcomes us with open arms and sees us for who we really are. We really just want to make sure the story is known, and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters to me, is that this doesn't happen to other families.
I hope for my family to one day live in a place where we're completely accepted and we don't feel constant fear. And I hope that this country comes to realize the just complete injustice that's being done, and that one day we can just live in an America that is open to immigrants and lives up to its values of freedom and liberty.
You guys have given me hope. There are beautiful people in this world that do want this country to change and to improve and seek logic in the situation.
What do you hope for the future of America? For us.
Well, a huge part of why I wanted to be a part of this is to also be a voice for so many people who can't and are terrified to speak about it. I don't even think people realize that my family also has a background. My grandparents were immigrants. And to just think about the life that I've been given and how blessed I am. My hope is that I see change.
We're all in this together.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't end here.
I just think you are wonderful people. And I want you to stay.